Copyright Fair Use Notice titled 17 U.S. Code Section 107 through 118 of the Copyright Law. All media in this video is used for the purposes of review and commentary for fair use. All footage and music and images used belong to their respective copyright owners. All review material is meant for all ages and are looked at from an adult analytical perspective. Viewers under the age of 13 should not watch.
Why? Hey everybody, this is Paper Fam Kings back with another paper rant. Because, dear God, I did not think I would be back ranting about this season again, but here we are. Go ahead, and to set this up, this is Smile Precure episode 11, where due to some shenanigans from the Witch General, the little gadget of the week, because apparently that's what she does, she makes gadgets and they end up in the human world and they cause trouble and whatnot, and it's the running gag for her. That's not what I'm going to rant about, because the last time they did this, it was fine. I didn't have any major issues or gripes the last time this was used. And you know what, I actually really like the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids vibe that this episode did. But they literally did something that is making me blow my gasket, if God would like to hit play. Why? Why is it tiny? This makes no freaking sense. Why is it itty bitty? Why is it tiny? They are about to give a reason why they think it's tiny, and it's one of the most ridiculous, stupid, asinine suggestions I have ever seen out of a Precure magical girl show or most anime. And you wanna know why this bothers me so much? It's because it doesn't need to exist. And I will explain it in just a second, but let's look at their suggestion for why they think this thing is tiny. Why? Why would the general do that? They're trying to destroy you! There is for no good reason, why this thing should be tiny. There is not. It should be giant-sized, and here's why. Because their fairy for the season is still holding the little item that makes things itty-bitty. So the witch could be competent and make a giant monster that would be a threat to the Precure, and then the little fairy uses the item to make the monster tiny. We didn't need to have a bout of stupidity. And in fact, it takes away from the agency of the fairy that's still holding the weapon that makes stuff tiny. Why? Why? Just, Because look, the reason why there's been a good distance between the last freakout and this freakout is because I accepted that the cures are going to be a little bit incompetent for the sake of introducing the next cure. And for the most part, everything after the cures have gotten introduced hasn't been head-bangingly stupid. This is head-bangingly stupid. Cue the facepalm clip as many times as necessary, because oh my gosh, why? Why did she make it tiny? And if that wasn't the insult to injury, play the clip. Why? Why? Because if she did it intentionally, why would talking about it make her change her mind? Why does she even need the Akambe anyway? She's already stolen the darkness energy from bugs, mind you. I'm not even ranting about the bugs having their energy stolen, that being a thing. No, it's the fact that the monster's tiny. But even if you want to excuse anything before we even get to that, why is she even summoning an Akambe anyway? She's giant. She can literally step on them. And it's harder to kill the generals than it is to purify the monster of the week. And even if that wasn't the case, it's oh, well, it has to be, because Lord knows we watched Star Detective and they forced in a monster fight, ruining a dark Precure versus Light Cure fight, mind you. But this is not only forcing in the Monster of the Week trope, it does it in some of the most ridiculous way, because it shouldn't be tiny. And yes, I've seen the generals accidentally summon a very tiny monster before, but it was very powerful and very threatening. It didn't matter what the size of it was, because it was effective as a tiny creature. But this makes me lose my mind, because as a writer, this bothers me. Because you make the villain look stupid, which Precure can have bumbling villains. But you can't if they're supposed to be a legitimate threat, you can't do this. And you can't have it both ways of like, oh, maybe she accidentally made it small. Shh, don't tell her. Like, she can't still just step on you. I don't know if these generals have offensive capabilities. Usually they don't, because they usually just summon monster, and then if the monster loses, they pimp out. It's like usually very rare for the general to have offensive attack skills. Not impossible, it's just rare. So I don't know if she has offensive magic that she could be using right now to just wipe out the Precure. And again, if that was the situation, the Fairy of the Week could use the make stuff smaller magical item and use it on the witch girl and make her tiny too. Then she could summon the Akemba, but then when she does it, because she's tiny, she makes it small. Either way, you either have it where she makes a giant monster and then it gets shrunk by the fairy, and then it makes sense that they're fighting now a tiny monster, and then the witch would be distracted from the fight because you know, then she won't be like stomping on the cure, because she's chasing the fairy to get the shrink ray back, because she just used it to shrink the monster and now make things a level playing field. The witch is distracted, the fairy got to do something, and the cures can do their thing, and everything can be right with the world, as I'm sure it's gonna work out. Or the witch tries to destroy the cures herself. The fairy uses the shrink ray, shrinking her down and making her tiny. She tries to summon the Akemba. The Akemba comes up small because of the scaling of the magic. And she's kind of screwed. Plus, with her being tiny as well, it would force her to actually give up the secret of how to reverse the item. Again, I don't know how they're going to reverse the item, but I'm already not looking forward to it because of this narrative brouhaha. So there were two ways they could have made this plot work and not make the villain look stupid, actually make the fairy still useless, because the fairy's been doing nothing but crying and whining this whole episode because she accidentally shrank the cures and she's been trying to find them this whole time. But even if ignoring all that, I do not like narrative, and this is blatantly stupid because they're treating it as both a mistake and something like, oh, don't tell her, she might actually do something. Anyway, that's my rant. I hope you guys enjoy it, and, you know, a kind of sort of how I'd write it segment. So please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Do you agree with either? Do you like option A or option B? Or do you really like how the canon does it and just the Switch is an idiot? I don't know. A, B, or C, comment down below. And I look forward to the next episode, because this one is making me wish I had a bigger hand to slap my face with. But, ciao everybody.